Meow.
Michael Keaton is back as the Dark Knight, pursuing two very different villains in Batman Returns, one of 5 new summer movies we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert, including Goldie Hawn's latest, plus a look at a featurette by Batman director Tim Burton. I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune.
And I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. Our first movie is indeed Batman Returns, another excursion into the dark and murky world of Gotham City, where a bizarre band of characters enact their twisted destinies. This sequel once again stars Michael Keaton in the title role, and once again, Batman is more of an enigma than a leading man. Little effort is made to get behind his elaborate facade, although he's back with as many high-tech gadgets as ever.
Take one step closer, Mr. Batman. You missed.
What's new this time are some fresh characters, including a romantic interest of sorts for Batman. Michelle Pfeiffer plays Catwoman.
Who are you? Who's the man behind the bat? Maybe you can help me find the woman behind the cat.
Also new, Danny DeVito as the Penguin, a grotty little man who was abandoned by his parents, raised in the sewers by penguins, and now wants revenge on society.
What do you want? Ah, the direct approach. I admire that in a man with a mask. You don't really think you'll win, do you?
But the real villain this time is Tycoon Max Schreck, played by Christopher Walken as a power-hungry manipulator who wants to drain Gotham of its energy.
You're a well-respected monster. And I am, to date, not.
Frankly, I feel it's a bum rap. I'm a businessman. Tough, yes. Shrewd, okay. But that does not make me a monster.
Batman Returns was once again directed by Tim Burton, whose credits also include Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands. And Burton is one of the most interesting stylists at work in the movies today. His movies are always terrific to look at. Batman Returns is consistently fascinating as a visual experience. But it's sort of hard to care about this movie. The storyline is confusing, the characters are only sketchily developed, and it's impossible to get involved in the fantastical story. I always felt I was watching from the outside. There are some strange contradictions here. Batman is not a successful movie, but it is, visually at least, an inspired one.
Well, you know, Roger, I think that there are elements to get involved in the story. I did, and I enjoyed the picture. And the two parts that I enjoyed were the Penguin and the Catwoman characters. I think Michelle Pfeiffer is a good comedian and doing good light comedy when we see her as the office worker who's going to be turned in after she's abused into Catwoman. And then Danny DeVito, I thought was actually pretty threatening and sad as this little baby, this ill-formed baby who's abandoned. And I thought, this is what Tim Burton does. He gives us characters, including Batman himself, who all have this private pain that they then work out publicly.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is with Catwoman and with the Penguin is that they emerge, they are developed as characters, we get the backstory, and then they don't go anywhere. There is no engine pulling this train. There is no story to really get us from the beginning of this movie to the end, and instead what you have are set pieces, set design, character design, costume design, even personality design, but no narrative.
The problem in the picture, it's not a perfect picture. The problem is the Max Schreck character. Frankly, he isn't particularly interesting. In his story and what he wants to do and how these other two characters fit in, I agree with you, that isn't worked out. But the point is that in seeing this story, I just saw this as a personal story rather than an action story.
Yeah, but the thing is, maybe if the Penguin had wanted to do what it is that the Schreck character wants to do,
that would
give him some kind of an agenda.
I agree with you.
Because the problem is you have the two most interesting characters basically standing around as participants in somebody else's story.
There's no need for Max Schreck, Christopher Walken, in this picture at all.
And yet I would say, once again, Burton makes great-looking pictures.
Okay.